Hopefully I'm not on the Wi-Fi. Hey guys, I have my
Hello.
gorgeous son.
Yep.
Look at that Color Stay lipstick.
Yep.
Nothing there. Boom.
Ooh.
Oh.
Innovative.
So he's in from Notre Dame. We're getting some special time together, and I think he's such a genius. He's sharing some strong opinions. So I just thought you'd bring you in on this conversation, because this is evolution, the new blood, the new spirit, the new thinking, and humanity is evolving, and I love being a part of it. So, Josiah,
Cool.
you were saying, go ahead.
Okay. So the topic of today is that everything is a social construct.
Okay.
In some form or fashion. And this is something that I discovered recently this summer, because I feel like it's so easy sometimes for people to get fixed into a certain mindset and believe that things have to be this way. Like, life is super straightforward, and when in reality, like, it's not. And so, like, right now, like, I'm stressing out about like a major, and I'm pretending like it's this huge life decision and there's only one right option. If I don't do it right, then like everything can get messed up. When in reality, this summer it got put into perspective because I go to a kind of prestigious school.
Notre Dame. Go ahead.
There has
Okay.
to be like this mindset that people have, like, because it's this way, and because we're all paying like $74,000 a year, like, our way has to be the right way. Like, you can't be some kid from like Ohio and get the same opportunities as me, when in reality, what I figured out this summer, I was cold calling people on LinkedIn, people who are working at Facebook, people who are working at Google, and these people, and like the two kids that answered my responses are like kids from schools that I've never heard of, and they're interns. And what they did is they said, you know what, I don't care if I don't go to a school that no one knows about, whatever. They called people on LinkedIn, set up connections, and they got referrals to programs that like kids that at Notre Dame don't even get, like opportunities that we don't get. And they're going to school and they're doing their own thing. They're majoring in psychology. People are majoring in pre-med. People are doing pre-law. People are doing, and some of them are doing marketing. But they're all doing the exact same role. So it's not like you have to be this certain person or do this certain path. It's like these kids who are going out and doing what they want with life and spinning it around to getting more of what they want. And to me, that's mind-blowing.
Yeah, so something you said there that I think is very interesting, because a lot of us go through this, is you're saying that you have this feeling that you have to make the perfect decision, and
Yeah.
if you make one decision, the whole world as you know it could be over,
it's
just
over.
suck
Yeah.
forever, right?
Yeah.
And so you're saying, you're realizing that that's so not true. Shane's saying, what's up, be yourself. Yeah, so he's like, yeah.
Be yourself, yeah.
Yeah, so you're saying that a big aha for you is that it's not true. Like, whatever choice you make, you can come back from. And that
Right.
it's also not about having to have all the right perfect things, because like these people that come from schools you don't even know got into opportunities that...
I thought was only limited to schools that I know, which is not the case at all.
Yeah. And I want you to talk about, there was something else that you shared with me a few days ago. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Mark. Hi, everyone else, if it went by. Hi, Monica. So you shared with me a few days ago about how you had this big life lesson because you had put your emotional eggs.
All into one basket.
Yeah. So talk
Yeah.
to me about that. What does that mean? Because that's a big lesson for all of us. So you had a goal. You were totally hung up on it.
Yep, I thought I saw every single sign from God come down and tell me, this is the way your life is going to go. And so I was so fixated on, like, if life doesn't go this way, then either God's not real.
Been there.
Or, like, yeah, God is definitely not real. And like life is just going to suck. And so then all of my happiness was pretty much contingent on life going the exact way that I wanted it to be. And there was no real room for flaw. And like, in reality, from like, people can say like, oh, well, that's a no-brainer. Like, you can't do that. But in reality, when there's something that you want so bad or something that I wanted so bad, it was hard for me to like think clearly. So I read this book it's by Ray Dalio. He's a really famous investor, really good book. But one thing he talks about is like, in finance, there's the principle of like diversifying your option. And so basically what that means is like no matter what the market does, like you have equally good options. There's always like the goal should be to have, if one thing doesn't work out, I have almost as equally of an awesome opportunity. And so like in life, for instance, now it's not all about getting into one space. Like for instance, if it was like, I want to work for Google and Google only, it's like, okay, well, there's many other places I can generally get the same experience and go apply for Facebook, apply for Microsoft, apply for that service trip in Guatemala that you want to do. So like it boom, boom, boom doesn't work out. You're not sitting there thinking like God doesn't exist, my life is over. You're like, okay, well, I got Guatemala coming up in a month, you know, I got Facebook over here. Like it's not about this one specific plan because I can't plan it out. I don't know if you guys have that special ability, but I sure don't. So
yeah, so you're still saying so you're not saying drop your standard or have this plan B that's a lower settling. You're saying you keep your standard and you make several different options that equal that standard. And this actually could go to, well, obviously investing. It goes to life purpose and life decision. That's what you were talking about. This is in dating too, right?
Big time.
Yeah, talk about that. There are a lot of single ladies and men out there that'll watch this replay.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, okay, so if we want to take it from the perspective of dating, and I feel like it's really easy because so many people get hurt in the like dating game, like big time. And so like it just goes to show like when you invest everything you have into one person, sometimes that can go to hurt you, but sometimes that can be one of the most beautiful things. And so like by that same token, like how I ended up getting hurt is like I thought I wanted to go to Stanford, right? And so like I put all of my love into passion into this one person that I didn't even know if the feeling was the same, instead of diversifying and saying, you know what, this is one place that in theory I think would be the best for me. But by that same token, I crossed out the opportunity for anybody else. And so like if you apply that to your love life, like I'd say just be open.
Yeah, just be open.
Like,
go with
just
the flow.
open,
Yeah,
right.
and we could stick with the analogy that you're going with. You put all of your love into that. When it didn't happen for you the first time,
I was heartbroken.
Oh, you were,
life was about to end. Like it was just like how do I recover from this?
and you're at Notre Dame, but you were like, God may not be real, because I was getting all the signs.
I was getting all these signs. They were getting pretty weird. We can talk about that, but I mean, just when I say signs, like you know, when you just start seeing stuff, like if you want a red Charger, like you're gonna start thinking like everybody's driving a red Charger type of thing. It's the same type of thing. So.
Yeah, and now I want to know something else, because I've known you because you were in my womb and you've been my baby. But I remember when you were about 4 years old, you were sick one day. You know the story I'm about to tell.
Yeah.
So you were sick and you kept throwing up. Hi, Kenny. And your face would kind of flush before you were about to throw up. And so I had this bucket on the ready. And so I started to hand this bucket to you, and you were like, no, Mom, don't do it. And you put your hands on yourself, Larry, and you're like, in the name of Jesus. Hey, well, we're doing it live. You should jump in and hear this story. Come sit next to him. Come sit next to him.
My first time
All right,
meeting
we're
Larry.
we're pause on the story. We got Larry North in the house, the legend. If you don't know, that's Larry North. We're sitting in his chair. Okay, you have to hear this story. Now I can't flip it, but Larry, I was just telling a story you're going to find so powerful. So when Josiah was 4 years old, he was homesick one day, and his face was flushing every time he was about to throw up. So I had this little bucket, and I would bring the bucket over when I'd see that. So I started to bring this bucket to him, and he goes, no, Mom, stop. And then he put his hand on his heart, and he was like, in the name of Jesus, I am healed. By his stripes, I'm healed. I pray over my body. I pray that everything, whoever's feeling this, that they don't feel it. And he went on for about 45 minutes. He even prayed for the husband he would be in the future. He never got sick again. Totally healed his life. So what I was going to ask about, I was going to say, you've always had a very strong faith. And Larry, I know you've got your own version of faith. So I'd love for you to say a little bit about your faith, and then Larry, we'll move it over to you. You talk about faith. So how has your faith played out in your life?
I say honestly, it's been like a double-edged sword. Because in some moments it's brought me to like, I feel like some of my greatest victories. but in the same moment, like, because I put so much into it that it can seem like some of my biggest failures when things don't go the way that I thought they would. And so that's like a bigger lesson that I think I have to be taught. But
So
I don't
Larry,
know.
with your wisdom,
Yeah.
how would, what do you say about when you put all this?
I'm 19.
19, young. Congratulations! You're such a good-looking man you brought into this world, and with a good heart also. So I'm going to sort of go off what you just said. So I'm a little older. So I'm almost 3-4 times your age. Good 3.5 times your age. and I'll tell you that my failures have turned out to be some of my best successes. You know, rejections from dozens of book publishers, but only to get a book finally published and have it be a bestseller. Rejections from infomercial companies, and then I finally shoot one and it bombs. And I end up buying it back. It ends up being a global sensation. You know, being rejected by radio stations until I found one that would give me a shot. Guess what? 34 years on radio. So sometimes failure is sort of an adversity that you overcome, but you also overcome those failures that you found out have become some of your successes through believing in yourself. You know, so in a sense, for me, my faith is just the fact that I know that there's something big and great that's all around us, that's in our hearts, it's the people that we attract with one another. And like even at this moment in time, like I happen to be here today, so I get to meet you. Like I've heard so much about you, and then I look at you, like seeing you in person, I see why she's a happy mom, because of having a man like you, like a son, man. I really, that to me, that's what brings faith to me when I can see it for myself. And so I would say congratulations to you, and congratulations to you. I hope I get to see you around more. You know,
For sure. Yeah, so do you, like, just going, like, off of that same thing about faith, so do you so you said talk a lot, like, about believing in yourself. Is there also, like, an external, like, do you, like, pray to God or whatever, or, like, how do you go about that?
I think that's a great question. I think that it's changed for me over the years. You know, the first half of my life, I had trouble believing that there was a God based on the adversity that I had in my life. There was a lot of pain. And so I'm like, well, that doesn't seem right. Like, why are we going through this? Why? But then as you get older, you go, wait a minute. There is something bigger and a bigger source and a bigger power. And all those life's lessons from the past ultimately got me to this moment in time. So yeah, I would say I do believe in a God, and I would say that I do pray to that God, just differently.
Awesome. Any more questions while we're live and direct?
How long are you in town for?
Until Monday.
All right, man. I hope I
Sure,
get to
sure.
see you. Good to see you, man. Thank you for letting me share
Larry,
your life.
thank you. I love having you live. Yeah. Anything else from you, Josiah? Any questions before we get off of this? Hi, Martin. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Molly. Two legends.
If you could have, like, a billboard that reached, like, everyone in the world, and it could only be like a quote or like a little caption that could reach everyone, what do you think you would put on that?
Well, one of my favorite quotes is, I felt sorry for myself because I had no shoes until I saw a guy that had no feet. And I think that sort of puts so much in perspective. So that probably would be my billboard if I wanted people to sort of realize, you know, you maybe think you have it bad, but there's always someone that has it worse than you.
Awesome.
That's cool.
What would you put on your billboard?
Do find whatever your nature is and match your life to that.
All
I
right.
think. Yeah.
You know what's cool about billboards now? They could be videos.
Ah.
We ain't gotta just do a quote. We have a whole video.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for your time. Two amazing men sitting here. We got an impromptu conversation with. If you have any questions for them, feel free to write it in the comments because I'll tag them and they can come back, and they're both genius in their own right. All right. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye.
Cool.
Good.